a tithe in the offering this last week. I'm not guilty of death for that. Okay, sure, I'm not going to kill you because you don't tithe 10%. I'm not going to hunt you down and be like, okay, show me your IRS forms. Nope, you're given net. It's got to be off the gross. I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. I'm not going to find you. I'm not going to track you down to try to enforce this kind of stuff. But what I'm going to say is God owns everything. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see that there is some stuff that he has given to us. Freely given to us. But when we take what he has not given, we are stealing and we deserve as much punishment as anyone should ever have. Luckily, there's a ray of hope in this story. If you look at the passage I put here on your paper, if you go all the way back to Joshua chapter 2, verses 8 through 11, we see something here. And you should remember from Joshua 6:17 that when he said the whole city is to be devoted to destruction, he said, but Rahab and her family spared them. Who's Rahab? Well, let's just read Joshua 2, 8 through 11. Before the spies who went into Jericho early on went down for the night, she, Rahab, went up to the roof and said to them, I know that the Lord has given this land to you, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We've heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the two kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. So then when you get to chapter 6, it says, the city and all that is in it are to be devoted to the Lord. Only Rahab, the prostitute, and all who are with her in her house shall be spared because she hid the spies we sent. Why would God save a prostitute? Of all the wicked people in Jericho who were supposed to be completely eliminated, why would he spare a prostitute? Only because she says, I'm going to take action to risk my life to hide some spies because your God is God of heaven above and earth below. She acknowledges the supremacy of who God is, and out of that she is spared because God is a God who gives. This is a glimpse of Jesus. Listen, what happens here in the story of Rahab is that the spies then say to Rahab, okay, take this thread and put it in your door or in your window so that when it hangs out of the window, we know which house is yours, we know which house not to invade, which people not to come and completely destroy like God has told us to. Put this little piece of thread, this yarn in your window, and here it's a red thread. It's a scarlet thread. And this story of Rahab shows us that there is actually a scarlet thread that weaves its way all the way through the Bible. From Genesis chapter 3, when Adam and Eve had taken what wasn't given to them, God curses them and he says, now you're going to suffer and you're going to face hardship and pain. But one of these days, the woman is going to give birth to a son, and that son is going to crush the head of the serpent who deceived you. And in that bloody scene, and if you can put it in your mind, the bloody scene of a snake's head being crushed, there begins a scarlet thread that weaves its way all the way until you get to Rahab, who was the grandmother or so of a man named Obed, who was the father of Jesse, who was the father of David, King David, who is the great ancestor of Jesus Christ himself. And so as you follow this scarlet thread all the way through, you find that the God who gives, even when people take the wrong thing, continues to give and give and give and give until finally, for God so loved the world that he gave his son. And that is what the message of Jesus really is all about, that he has given us so much and we take the wrong things. And so as we begin this study that's going to be ultimately about money, what I want you to do today is to simply get to that place where you say, no, what I need is I need to stop taking the wrong things, and I need to start receiving what God has given me. And he has given you, above and beyond all other things, Jesus. In the next few weeks, we're going to look at some of these other points of application, receiving Jesus and receiving 90% and receiving a return on your investment. But today, I just want you to focus on the receiving Jesus part. Some of you have been Christians for a long time, and you would say, I know I've been saved by God. He has rescued me. I've given my heart and my life to him, and yet there is still a stranglehold on your life that is fully coming from this world. the material things, money and things like that. And I am asking you to fully receive Jesus as the one who solves all of that. But some of you have never given your heart to him. And I want to say right now, you are a slave to the things outside of God, and he wants to liberate you from all of those things by giving you a gift of Jesus. The God who gives the universe to people even when we take the wrong things and abuse them and take too much and take them too soon and take them just in the wrong ways. He keeps giving, and he's given Jesus to you. And so today, I just want to ask you, are you willing to receive what he has given? Or will we continue to try to take what he is not? Hopefully in the next few weeks we can be a little bit more practical on some things. But we can never be practical until we get the spiritual stuff taken care of first, that Jesus can save you. Don't raise your hands, but how many of you feel a little guilty by the way you have handled your finances? The way you have viewed the things of this world, the way that you have sought after taking the wrong things. I know I do. The only one who can cleanse you is the God who keeps giving. And the God who freely gives forgiveness. For God so loved the world that he gave his Son, that whoever believes in him would not perish like Achan, but receive a gift of eternal life. I want to ask you to close your eyes for a moment. And just in the time there, I want you to reflect on what it would mean to have Jesus completely take away all your guilt. I'm going to sing a couple songs here in just a moment. There's a song I learned at the conference I want to sing over you. And as you reflect on the words of that song, let me invite you to jot down on your communication card some thoughts of what God is doing in your life. Or maybe, if you need it, to join our prayer team and ask them to pray for you. They will be right outside the back doors by the water fountain, and they will be more than happy to pray with you and to pray for you. But let me give you a moment right now with God and reflect, what would it mean to have Jesus completely take away all the stuff that I'm a slave to?